video. I seem to have found a different video about CRT. A very strong, independent black woman is gonna actually explain why she doesn't agree with CRT. For the people that doesn't know, CRT is a way of educating people about the systemic racism that is almost in every action, in everything we do. But the thing about the whole situation is anything they explain about CRT, it's that white people are bad. That's how it comes down to. So for me, my white baby is gonna be a white supremacist. It's in his genes. He's gonna treat me like a very bad papa.
CRT, for such a complex, controversial topic, I have a very simple question. Why? What is the purpose? What does it solve? What does it actually teach? Imagine two childhood friends, Jenny and Sharon. They've been friends since they were 2 years old, sharing everything, birthdays, sleepovers, and a number of firsts. They grow up and enter the public school system where CRT is being...
Oh, it's not COVID.
Jenny is reminded she's white and learns about the atrocities committed to maintain her white privilege. And Sharon is reminded she's black and every shortcoming and challenge she faces is because of Jenny's white privilege. Tensions rise, hostility creeps in, and just like that, the friendship is over. Now, perhaps my example is a little extreme, but not too far-fetched. It actually sounds familiar. Children don't see race until you and I show it to them. So I can tell you what CRT teaches. Critical race theory does nothing but perpetuate the same narrative. It plants the same seed of divisiveness.
It's the action of the parents. That you need to re-educate maybe parents, make them feel comfortable. But the problem is you can't change people. You can only change a person that trusts you. The people which I don't get along with, or the people that usually I might have hated or not liked them because of kind of racist reasons by other people, I would say it's more ignorant. I have been ignorant, I'm not gonna lie. But whenever I went with the same people, I worked with them, or I went to have a dinner with them, it seems that I realized, hey, I know I don't agree with you, but I kind of get where you're coming from, or that seems to be interesting, and whatever they said, or whatever I taught them, it was like I planted a seed and it bloomed. And I think with kids, it's the same thing. No kid is gonna treat another kid as below him. They might be selfish once in a while, my toy, but that's it. That's any kid. It's not because of a color. But if I teach that to a kid, that my son might say, hey, this is mine, I don't want any black kid walking around and be saying, well, you are privileged because you're white parents. I'm like, dude, I'm freaking black. I'm just there for my child. I do not believe that all white men are gangster. And if a white man says something gangster to me, usually it's because of ignorance or insecurity. And with time, it was Gucci. They realize, you know what, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe this dude is kind of chill. Their defense go low and it infects other people with time. People change with time. You cannot come with an education. You don't educate people in war and be like, hey, everything is done. It's experience. That's why they train you sometimes to go to the Navy for years. It's a process.
So why do you want to keep telling the same distorted and divisive story, and especially to our children in the form of education? I ask again, why? Does it help our lagging test scores? Does it equip our children with the tools needed to enter the real world? And by real world, I mean workforce and making a better living, financial literacy, and proper decision making. Does it teach our children to value one another regardless of skin color? Does it teach our children to take pride in our country, a country where a man can be a slave, come from nothing, yet give birth to a generation of children that have everything?
I go to the interview, I'm sitting there, and suddenly I see some very nice, well-dressed people sit there too, and I'm like, what the heck is happening? I don't know. So this guy started talking to me, did you come for this project? I'm like, yeah, I came for this project. We started talking about the stuff online, because I can vouch for myself. I know my stuff, computer way and all those stuff, right? And then suddenly, the big boss comes in and he's like, yo, dude, you're supposed to go to the other meeting. Says, I don't know. They told me to come here. So, boss, super important client, white man, super white, rich, is talking to this black chill guy that has no idea what he's doing, know a little few things about computer. And we had such an interesting conversation that the guy was like, hey man, well, I wish I could work with you. You seem like a kind of chill dude. Hey man, nice to meet you. And I just walked away. Sometimes it surprises you when you don't perceive people in a negative way, and when they react wrong, you don't react negative to them because you don't cue the little racist thing that people might see. The conversation is good.
I remember conversing amongst a group of black friends, and we all reflected on our own childhood and how black history was a small section in a history book comprised of only slavery, Jim Crow laws, and civil rights. Slavery ended in 1865. 146 years worth of information since then, and yet it's filled with nothing but slavery, trauma, inferiority, and that's all the history anyone ever shoves in front of us. Again, why? What is the purpose? CRT is not an accurate account of black history or American history for that matter, and it is imperative we do not allow it to pass as such. I'm sure everyone here is aware of the 2018 and 2019 state report card. That's the only one I could find available online. Less than 33% of Hamilton County students were found to read at grade level. When critical race theory is mentioned, the average individual cannot define it, and our children most certainly cannot define, let alone comprehend its complexities.
That's a very good point. Why she is gangster. She had a father at home.
I value teachers tremendously. My own father is an educator. But teachers are teachers, and they do not, and nor does anyone on the board replace the parents.
I think we need to start educating a lot more kids these days the right way, because we live in a system right now that if there isn't no school, nobody is taking care of our kids. And everybody has like one parent in the house, so they need somebody to take care of the kid. The whole family structure is gone. It's like everybody's like, I've lived always alone. My mom lived always alone. We can do everything all alone. I'm actually surprised also that a black community wants to educate us how we have to treat our kids when the black community is the worst community in treating kids, in the way that there's so many single people. I'm like, damn, what the heck is going on? It surprises me. How you can't maintain a relationship and you blame us?
Many of you may be thinking, CRT is banned in the state of Tennessee. This is not a problem in the Hamilton County School District. Well, I do have with me an assignment given to my son directly following the banning of CRT in our state. He was provided with the banning article with a writing prompt, what is the importance of CRT in the public school system? This is a problem, and I would like it noted.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're not teaching it. We're just asking your kid what he thinks about it so the dialogue can start. We're telling you don't teach it. We're not teaching it, but we're just asking a question. What?
The focus should be our core subjects that are not excelling in language arts, math, science, and social studies, with the addition of trades, work readiness, and financial literacy. And let's be clear, the fact we are not excelling in these subjects has nothing to do with race. My son is in the gifted program. He has a 4.0. He scored a 25 on the ACT as a sophomore with absolutely no prep. That leads me to the importance of school choice, and is highlighted in the HCDE mission statement, the environment of our schools, and how all of this correlates with critical race theory.
There's only going to be like people that can pay for private school and not go to this gangster school. That's the only thing that's going to happen because they want to go for your kids.
I grew up in Malin, Tennessee, graduated from Malin High School. At the time I attended, blacks made up 15% of the school population. Whites were dominant. As I reflect on my experience, not once did I feel inferior, as CRT suggests. Not once was I oppressed. The bar and expectations that were set at the time were for all students, regardless of race. I left the public school system and my family knowing I could accomplish anything, and my skin color was the very least of my concern. Fast forward to having a child who attended Orchard Knott Middle and currently attends Brainerd High School. In both instances, he has been stereotyped, bar lowered, viewed as being at a disadvantage, and even labeled with phrases like, he's not like the rest of them, by an actual teacher. CRT would do nothing but reinforce this culture of inferiority and further alienate our black children. We must not teach black children that any challenge or burden that they may face comes from white people. We must not teach white children that they are the cause of the plight in black America.
Whenever I go to my country and I go to speak with specific people, I might go to a store and I start speaking in Dutch because I went to Holland and I spoke it a lot, and they notice that my accent changed. They're like, hey, you speak like Dutch. You don't speak like Caribbean Dutch with a gangster accent. I'm like, hey, yeah, thank you. But it's not like they mean it in a negative way. Because it's the same thing when a Dutch person speaks my language. I tell them, oh man, you speak like Antiano. Being a good one isn't that negative. You assume it's negative because you're like, oh, he's a good one, so he's better than me. Yes, he's better at speaking the language, the proper accent. That's it. Stop looking for loopholes to confirm that you are right.
We must teach all children, regardless of color, you are the writer of your own life, and any system set in place that threatens your dignity and freedom, you have the power to eliminate, one voice and one vote at a time. I urge you not to let CRT into our schools, stand firm on the Tennessee banning of CRT, and hold every single educator accountable who has the audacity to take matters into their own hands. Thank you.
I should have married a black woman. Okay, that's a joke too. But no, I don't care about that. I mean, I got what I got. It's not like I didn't want any black ladies. Don't worry about it. No CRT stuff around here. All I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, is that everybody is ignorant at a specific level, right? If you have a huge group of South American people, right, and you randomly come there, there's a big chance any ignorant thing that pops in their head, they're going to be vocal about it. Everybody has that moment. The fact that certain families have more money, all I can say is, well, they invested more in their kids. They told them how to save money. They didn't make a bunch of kids and then, oh, you need to help me with my kid. Bada bing, bada boom. That's a big difference that I see in a lot of other cultures compared with white family. Have 2 kids, focus on your job, and don't do any stupid stuff. That's it. It's a very simple thing. I don't understand how people cannot just keep to that. And I kept to that. But if you say like, yeah, you're a different species, well, then what do you want me to do? The amount of black people that carry guns like a normal thing, and you want the cops to treat you chill, it just surprises me. Because even if black guys are like gangster, it's only in specific cities in USA with guns, they keep robbing people. Black people create a stigma that they're so gangster, but when people react to that, it's racist. People, handle these damn special kids that are just robbing stuff and shooting people. Look at Chicago, that mass shooting. Look at San Francisco, robbing, they take stuff, they just walk away. Like they're playing GTA, but the cops are only level 1. You can keep robbing. No tanks are gonna come at level 5, 4, 3, 2. No, it's level 1 forever. Nobody does anything. People, you're creating a situation, there is no solution. And you're gonna stay there forever. And if that is the path that America wants, whoo, I am glad I'm not in America. I don't want to be near those type of black people that don't want a solution. I do want to be next to this lady because she seems to be very reasonable with the way she thinks. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Peace. Remember to like, subscribe, and yeah, share. Life is Gucci, bra.
Don't get me wrong, ako sa kita bong. Put a fire na mi blonde, kush, hash, purple, skunk, criollo, colombici, jam, turlo, queta, verdeta, welcome.